In the aftermath of Christmas 2025, as Americans bask in the glow of a holiday season marked by renewed optimism and real policy wins under President Trump, one animated short has taken the conservative world by storm. The Night Trump Saved Christmas, created by popular YouTuber Mr. Reagan, is a brilliant satirical parody that casts Donald Trump as the heroic savior of Santa Claus and the spirit of Christmas itself. From a cadre of left-wing villains released just days before the holiday, this 5-minute gem has racked up massive engagement on X and beyond, proving once again that creative, unapologetic, conservative content is resonating like never before in the golden age of America First. Don't believe me? Watch it for yourself right now.
'Twas the night before Christmas, the snow deep and white. The reindeer were set for their long winter flight. The elves were all wrapping the last gifts with care. The scent of hot cocoa hung sweet in the air. Old Santa sat slumped in his chair by the fire, his nose red and runny, his fever grew higher. He sneezed and he sniffled, he coughed and he wheezed.
Oh dear,
Santa groaned.
I'm as sick as can be.
Outside of the workshop arose such a clatter, a chopper arriving. What could be the matter? Away to his window old Santa did dash, threw open the shutters and drew up the sash. There on the snow, touching down with a thump, Marine One arrived with President Trump. Donald stepped down onto the snow with a confident stride and a soft orange glow.
Hey, Santa!
Trump called.
You look tired, so tired. I'll be Santa this year. It's a job I admire. I've handled much bigger, believe me, it's true. The economy, China, I'll handle this too!
Old Santa just blinked, then he started to grin.
Hello, my old friend. Come in, come in. I've done this for centuries, year after year. A night off sounds nice. It's so cozy in here.
Trump strutted inside to the workshop with flair. The elves all stopped working to ogle and stare.
These elves,
Donald said,
they're incredible folks. The best in the business. They're really no joke. We're going to have Christmas like never before. The biggest, the best. That's what we're here for.
He loaded the sleigh with his own special touch.
More gifts. We need more. This isn't enough.
The bag overflowed, stacked right to the top, all made by the elves in Santa's workshop. Then onto the sleigh he climbed up with great pride, Melania's cookies tucked right by his side. He cracked the gold whip, the reindeer took flight.
Now Dasher, now Prancer, let's do this thing right. On Comet, on Cupid, on Donder and Blitzen, we'll make history tonight, and poems will be written.
The reindeer responded with thunder and spark, and off through the sky they blazed into the dark. For the daughters, a doll with a pretty pink dress. For the sons, a race car, shiny red, the best.
'Cause boys will be boys and girls will be girls. It's just common sense. It's the real world.
To Democrats' houses he came without spite, even though they'd complain and they'd fuss and they'd fight.
He's a fascist!
He left them face masks and 95 so that they'd feel safe when driving inside. Their cars all alone with windows rolled tight, they're still double masking at such a sad sight. Greta Thunberg bobbleheads too, a little voice box that screams, "How dare you?" In one quiet house, Trump knelt by the tree. When a little boy woke, he'd got up to pee.
Santa?
He asked, and slowly walked near. But Santa looked different, more orange, less beard.
Not Santa,
Trump said with a wink and a grin.
but just as good looking and way, way more thin.
The boy rubbed his eyes.
Are you President Trump?
Trump just smiled and gave the kid a fist bump, then held out a flag, red, white, and blue.
Merry Christmas, young man. This is for you.
Before heading north, Trump cinched up his coat, one last present to give to the cartel boats. No missiles tonight, it was Christmas, you see. Instead, he dropped something more natural. The reindeer let loose with a thunderous sound, and magical droppings swiftly rained down. Reindeer that fly have a special-made pool. It sparkles, explodes, and it's quite deadly, too. Boom went the speedboats. Blam went the drugs. Out into the sea flew the criminal thugs. But Trump wasn't done. He swung around back.
I'll finish them off with a quick double tap.
Another pass over, more presents from deer, and the cartel's whole shipment had just disappeared.
That's how we do Christmas.
Trump shouted with glee.
Merry Christmas, you scumbags. This gift was from me.
Trump finally turned north as dawn filled the sky. The reindeer were tired, and so was the guy. Old Santa was waiting with cocoa in hand.
Well done, Donald Trump. That was all just so grand.
It was nothing. Believe me, I do this all day. I love delivering toys in your sleigh. The people are happy, the presents delivered, the drug boats are sunk, and justice delivered.
He handed the reins back to Jolly St. Nick.
Call me again whenever you're sick.
You saved Christmas this year. God bless you, my friend.
Trump nodded and turned. The trip had to end. Marine One lifted off into the sky, and Santa waved back with a tear in his eye. Trump leaned out the window that cold Christmas day, real loud so Santa could hear him say,
To the soldiers abroad and the farmers at home, to the builders, the truckers, wherever they roam, to the cops and the nurses, the teachers, the vets, to the kids in pajamas and the family pets, and even the haters, the losers, the fakes, and even Pelosi, that treacherous snake.
Santa heard him exclaim as he flew out of sight.
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
But then Santa heard one more thing at the end.
Let's make America great again.
All right, so wasn't that absolutely epic? From Santa's peaceful North Pole getting invaded by black helicopters to President Trump swooping in with that iconic line, I'll be Santa this year. Every single second is just packed with sharp satire, with patriotic pride, and just the pure holiday joy that we Republicans love. This is exactly the kind of content that reminds us why conservatives are winning the culture war and taking our country back. Because we're not just winning in the polls, we're not just winning in elections, we're winning our country back, we're winning our culture. So the animation itself, which is wonderful, by the way, draws heavy inspiration from classic stop motion holiday specials like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer with cozy North Pole scenes, twinkling snow, and a narrative voiceover reminiscent of Bert Ives. Because as Republicans, we're not afraid of our history and of our past, and we're ready to embrace the beautiful parts of our culture that made it so good to begin with. We're not purely obsessed with change and being woke and futuristic like these other creators might be. So Mr. Reagan flips this whole concept into a razor sharp political satire, I might add, portraying the radical left as literal invaders who hijack Christmas for their destructive agendas. I know it's supposed to be satire, but that just sounds like reality. Santa relaxes by the fire with cocoa and cookies, only for black helicopters to descend and shatter the peace. The villains, caricatures of the Clintons, Obamas, Bidens, and even Greta Thunberg, if you guys can even remember that mess. They storm the workshop, tying up Santa and forcing the elves into woke re-education, which literally happened in Canada, if we remember, even with people like Jordan Peterson. So the toys are being replaced with propaganda. The sleigh is targeted for more green mandates, which we know is just code for woke. And then the entire operation is turned into a chaotic mess. And it is hilarious, but it's also a perfect metaphor for how progressive policies have tried to erode American traditions, faith, and family values for years. Then comes the moment that our hero, who we've all been waiting for, Santa, his distress call reaches President Donald J. Trump himself, who's shown in a luxurious setting, bathed in that signature orange glow, and without hesitation, in true Trump fashion, he declares that he will personally step in as Santa. Because that's the amazing thing about our president. He doesn't think he's too low to step in and do things personally. He's not like Biden with his auto pen. You guys, yeah, that was crazy. So he boards, of course, his high-tech American sleigh and launches into action, evading all of the missiles, delivering precise double taps on enemy forces, and sinking ships loaded with illegal gifts. I think we all know what that was a reference to. So the battle sequence is, of course, thrilling, with explosions lighting up the Arctic. Villains flail comically, and of course, Trump outsmarts them all with decisive, no nonsense leadership. And by the end, of course, Santa is freed, the North Pole is restored, and gifts are delivered to all the good boys and all the good girls across the world with a triumphant Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Every I can't get over it. Every detail is masterfully crafted. The exaggerated expressions, the vibrant colors, the spot-on voice impressions. Those are what make it so rewatchable. The Easter eggs like Bill Clinton sneaking around with his naughty list, which is, a subtle list to the ongoing scandals. I guess we'll keep it PG here. Hillary scheming over power grabs, and Obama smoothly pushing to fundamentally transform everything. And we can't forget Thunberg's bobblehead army demanding climate compliance. And then, of course, even the smaller touches, which I'm not sure if you guys noticed, like sinking ships labeled with Democrat failures or elves enduring mask mandates. Yeah, don't think we forgot that. Land perfectly with conservative audiences who've lived through the last decade of cultural battles. I know I was looking at it and I was saying, I went through that. It's supposed to be comedy, it's supposed to be satire, but it's riddled with truth, it's riddled with reality. Especially, the viral explosion of this clip tells its own story, where America truly is in 2025. This is posted on X by a journalist, actually, Jonathan Cho, on Christmas Eve, and immediately, sprung to 442,000 views. That's 442,000 patriots. Got thousands of reposts, thousands of likes, and a flood of enthusiastic replies. I saw patriots in the replies saying epic. Better than anything Disney has done in 15 years, which is probably true. Calling it an all-time classic. Users laughed at specific gags, the mask part, the old double tap, the soft orange glow. Shared it widely with family and friends. I know everyone was sending this to me. That's why we had to cover it. So forums and communities lit up completely with praise, proving that when conservatives create high quality, uplifting content, the audience shows up in force. So why does it resonate so deeply now? Well, because it mirrors the real triumphs that we're seeing under President Trump's leadership. Just yesterday, on Christmas Day itself, Trump authorized decisive airstrikes on ISIS militants in Nigeria who were targeting Christians, directly defending faith abroad. Much like his animated counterpart, Defend Santa, his recent executive order granting federal workers extra paid days off in December 24 and 26 create the longest Christmas break in years, putting family values first. Leftists and even some rightists that just have a gripe against the president doing a good job. And yet, these are tangible America First wins that contrast so sharply with the Biden era chaos. We can't forget the inflation that stole our holiday joy, our open borders, flooding communities with illegal gifts, and endless globalist agendas just sinking the ship of state. So this clip, it's very entertaining, but it's not just entertainment. It is a cultural counterpunch because for too long, Hollywood and Disney completely dominated children's programming with the forced progressive messaging, which completely alienated families and tanked box office numbers. Mr. Reagan and creators like him are just filling that void with wholesome, patriotic alternatives that celebrate traditional values without apology. It's not optimistic, forward looking proof that conservatives' principles are winning, not just in policy, but in the hearts and minds of Americans. As we move into 2026 with momentum on our side, secure borders, a roaring economy, traditions reclaimed, this kind of satire energizes the base and converts moderates. It reminds us that laughter is a powerful weapon against the left's gloom. Because if we're being honest, Republicans are just cooler. And that good always triumphs when strong leadership steps up. So share this clip, share this video if you can. Share it to your friends, your family. Every patriot that you know should get this nice little reminder that the Christmas spirit and the America First fire are burning bright all year long. So God bless you. God bless President Donald J. Trump, and God bless the United States of America.